the job, a 1996 Ford F150, and it is a water pump. So I'm going to try and walk you through this as best as I can. There are several components we're going to have to remove, and as I do, I'll let you know. Okay, so at this point, I have disconnected the battery. I have removed the two top bolts to the fan shroud and the upper radiator hose and this plastic junk. And I'm fixing to get the bottom bolts and move on to taking the alternator belt off, and we'll go from there. There were no bottom bolts. Actually, what it was supposed to be was just clipped in, but this one's been zip tied. Broken. As you can see at this point, the fan shroud and the fan has been removed. 4 bolts. Mine's stuck. I bumped it a little, come right off. In this particular model, this is what's busted actually on the water pump. So that's not healthy. Okay, so at this point I'm waiting on parts. I, as you can see, have removed the water pump. No issues with the bolts. They're pretty cruddy. I would either clean them up or replace them. Belt's gone. Couple hoses. I'm going to go into the thermostat in a bit here. Might as well change that too. And I have that part. So that's about it. I went ahead and just bungee corded this up out of the way. To continue to work on that 1996 Ford F150. I'm going to get the bolts cleaned up. I'm going to run a line of Permatex down them because from what I've read, it tends to seep. So just to be sure, I'm going to put a little Permatex on them. Pretty much got all my parts, and as I continue, I will keep you guys informed. Okay, so definitely time for cleanup. I got the thermostat out, and I'm going to clean all that gook up. I'm also going to go ahead and clean up all the bolts. So you can see they're in very poor condition. And also, while you're down there and all up in this, might be a good idea to change out all hoses. With this, you gotta cut this off and put a new piece of rubber over it. But and obviously clean that up too, because that's gunky. And that's about it. And then we'll start putting it back together after all the cleanup stuff. At this point, as you can see, I changed the thermostat gasket, put the water pump back on, torqued them exceptionally evenly, fixing to put the pulley on, and the fan shroud, bolts, and belt. And this project is coming together pretty good. Okay, so at this point, the truck is completely put back together. With this particular 1996 Ford F150 302, it's been modified, rad's been changed, air pump's not connected anymore, so valve routing was a little different. But everything seems to be running really good, nothing's leaking. You want to be very careful about checking for leaks. And that's about it. This about sums up this project. Okay, so the biggie on this project is not breaking bolts. What I found effective was, and I didn't have any power tools out here, but I took and I threaded it in and then backed it back out as I worked the bolts out. Also, I put pressure on the front of the water pump, just enough to get the bolts to kind of be pushed by it. That's my advice for everybody. I hope you found this video helpful, and thank you for watching.